Gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Masculine Toxicity. I know it's been quite a while since I've done an episode, but thankfully there's plenty of content to be had at this moment, and that's what we're going to delve into now, something that really kind of piqued my interest. This is from the Today Show, not here in America, but in Australia. And this is a story about a woman on Facebook who had posted, a very beautiful woman, by the way. I mean, a legitimate 9 on the 10 scale. Beautiful blonde girl. Probably, mid to late 20s, I would guess. Anyhow, she posted on her Facebook explaining how she likes to do a variety of things for her family. Was the kind of classical responsibilities that are a big no-no in today's phony society, but the likes of, having lunches packed for the husband and kids before work and school the next day, having some laundry done, things like that. All these horrible things that just, you can't fathom how a woman in a family would be able to function with this type of oppression. Anyway, so let's take a listen to the audio and listen to these dumb assholes in Australia spitter and spatter their way through this woman's story.
I want to take you back to the 1950s, or at least that's what I thought when I read this Brisbane mum's Facebook post. Brooke Smith shared her routine online. Here's what she said. I always make sure I don't go to bed until everyone's lunches are packed, their clothes are set out for the next day, including my husband's, and the house is clean, dishwasher is on, and a load of washing is on. I always get up early, 4:30, with my husband to make his breakfast and coffee.
All right, so let's dissect a little bit of that. If you couldn't understand because Australians have that awful accent, the woman said, Brooke Smith is this beautiful wife that we're talking about. She says, sometimes it means I get to bed at 9. Sometimes it means I go to bed at midnight, but I always get up early, or 4:30 with my husband to make his breakfast and coffee. And then you heard that white knight simp in the background go, ugh, because apparently his wife wears the strap on in the relationship. But I just find it absolutely appalling how these dummies come up with these idiotic reasons as to why this beautiful angel is wrong for being a caring mother and a doting wife. Perhaps if women took the time, and women as a whole, took the time to understand how appealing a woman like this is to a man, rather than taking it as some personal attack, we would all be better off. Does our society seem any better today than what it was 50 years ago in terms of just overall happiness? Doesn't seem that way from everything I've come across. And by the way, did you hear the repulsion in this woman's voice? Let's take it back to the 1950s. Or that's what I thought when I read this story. It's funny. All these women try and proclaim that they're all in it together. They're one big team. But no one hates women more than other women. To the extent in which women will destroy one another, all for making her feel bad about herself. That's the issue with this newswoman. She feels bad because she's a career-oriented gal. And she feels like she's, deep down, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, she feels she's not holding up her end of the bargain and her potential wife or motherly duties. And this woman's making her look bad. That's why she's all bent out of shape. The guy is just a pussy whipped simp, plain and simple. Anyway, here's more of that audio.
Go, Brooke. Whatever. I tell you what, though, Chris. A lot of people online are saying, "Well done," are praising her.
Who are these people? Oh, has he hypnotised her
shut
or
up.
something? Who does does this stuff? Making his breakfast and then putting his clothes out of a night? Is he disabled or something? Like, seriously. So get a grip, get off your bum and do stuff yourself.
My only theory is that she might actually like her husband and she might actually like to get up at 4:30 and spend some time
I
with
mean,
you.
I like my husband, but make your own bloody breakfast and coffee. I mean, you know.
How happy do you think this broad's boyfriend or husband is? God forbid a woman want to do womanly or classically woman things for their husband or boyfriend. By the way, that was two women talking there. One woman saying a thing, perhaps she likes her husband. You can't tell because their voices are the same and that accent's just awful. But why does the one woman get so personally offended by the mere possibility that a woman wants to do her responsibilities in the home? Why? It's because she is making you look bad. Yeah, this woman, this Brooke Smith, is an amazingly beautiful and actually feminine woman and doting wife who, I assure you, is far happier than any of these toxic feminist broads, especially this host of this dumb show. And let's be honest, women who have this immediate disgust to a woman doing traditional woman things, they wouldn't know what happiness or contentment is if it hit them in her pink pussy beanies. Because let's be honest, if there's one thing that women loathe, it's being held accountable. And the fact that this wife is showing how an actual good woman truly works. It's exposing this dumb host and broads of her ilk for their flaws. Oh, goodness. A beautiful, blonde, gorgeous woman taking care of her family. Oh, wow. Yeah, that seems awful for any guy to have to deal with. All right, let's let the audio continue.
But the amazing thing, apparently this couple run an MMA fighting gym.
Oh, like mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts, and they also breed bulldogs, so they can do whatever they want. I'm like,
I don't know what that means.
Hey, you know what? If it makes her happy, but I mean, nothing in that list of things there, you know.
And she's got 4 children under the age of 6.
But did you see her photos too? She still had time to like make her hair look beautiful and put her makeup on.
Women attacking women.
Gorgeous.
She's amazing.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, you're making the rest of us look bad.
See? Right there. That's the answer. Making the rest of us look bad. Look, here's the deal. The lie being perpetrated in our society that women can have it all, ironically enough, is what's causing women to be so unhappy today. Surveys have consistently concluded that women in general are more unhappy today than they were a generation or 2 or 3 ago. It's also burning women out because they try so hard to obtain this have-it-all thing with careers, families. Yet they end up spreading themselves so thin. It's like that old cliche. If you're doing 2 things at 50%, ultimately you're doing nothing because you're only half in and half out. We've become so obsessed in our society with multitasking and keeping busy that we often overlook what really needs to be done. And what's far more important than any of these dumb jobs that women want to take is that the raising of children is first and foremost. And this is coming from somebody, me, here at Masculine Toxicity, who has no kids and will not have kids. But it doesn't mean I don't grasp how absolutely integral a mother is in raising a family, and a father is in their role in raising a family and raising our future generations. Look, ladies, no one can have it all. Not men, not women. And whatever a woman chooses to pursue, whether it's career or kids, everything else will be put on the back burner. Unfortunately, so many of the women of my generation have been told since childhood to hold off on having kids until their mid-30s or later in favor of building a career. But by then, their eggs are dried up, their sexual market value has plummeted significantly. And aside from some outliers, most women truly want kids and a family and not a career. But they play this up because it's what they're supposed to do. It's what their team tells them to do. It's what feminism has told them to do. The reality is feminism has sold women a false bill of goods that rob women of what truly makes them happy. You know, to wrap this up, I'll leave it like this. When I said that no one hates women more than other women, maybe I should change that to no one hates women more than jealous and insecure women. It's quite frightening, really. Female-to-female rage is a truly dark force all its own. They want to pretend they are one unified group. Yeah, that's laughable. There's a reason the movie Mean Girls exists. And so many females enjoy it because they can relate. That type of mentality and behavior doesn't stop in high school either. It's prominent in the adult workforce. I work with all women, so I see it every day. I love when feminists crap all over women because of their lifestyle choices. And they tell them how to be a woman correctly. Isn't that slightly ironic? I bet this Brooke Smith has a great relationship with her husband. You get up, spend time together. When did taking care of your man and family become a bad thing? It's kind of sad, perhaps. That's something we should look into as a society as to why we have so much unhappiness. Maybe it's not the patriarchy. Perhaps, just perhaps, maybe it's toxic feminism. All right, that's all I have today. Enjoy the video. Spread it around. Catch you on the next one.